Alright friends, it's Tina back with another video. It's on JasonBlaha. You know, our friendly neighborhood vegan slave again. Hitting it with this bullshit. Carnivore pseudoscience. 3 doctors conflict with 1,000 nutrition studies is an argument. You have to understand when it comes to the food industry, money is involved, and all they have to do to fuck up a study is cast doubt. That's all you have to do, spread stuff. Even if something is healthy for you, if you spread doubt and say it's unhealthy, that's all you have to do is to diminish that. Now, as far as plants, they're unhealthy for you, okay? They have fucking toxins in them and sugar. How could that be healthy? And they are deficient in nutrients, which meat is not deficient in any nutrients. It is a very dense, high nutrient food. It has every type of nutrient that you need. Okay, it has no sugar or toxins in it. So how could that be bad for you?
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about one of the really big issues that I am seeing in the fitness world, particularly when it comes to nutrition.
The fitness world, like they're so important.
Is people who...
The fitness slave world, the slave world of fitness is to enslave you to make money off you, okay? Everything is about making money, is about scamming you to take your money. They have to scam you into beliefs, into taking your money, so you'll spend it. Yeah.
Are really engaging in a form of pseudoscience. And here's an example of pseudoscience. When you have a relatively large, robust amount of data from decades of studies, everything from direct studies, population studies, epidemiology, studies in the metabolic ward, individual case studies, and absolutely enormous amounts of data on something, and then you have a couple of experts, fringe experts, who come in and disagree when people go, well, there's conflicting viewpoints, but they're not conflicting viewpoints. Does that make sense? And I'm not saying...
They're not conflicting, they're casting doubt on something that is already based on fact. This is stupid. The facts are this. If meat is not deficient in any nutrient, it has no sugar in it, 0 sugar and toxins, and it's not deficient in nutrients, that is a fact. But if you cast doubt and say, well, meat is bad for you, how could something that is good for you be bad for you? In order to shift that marketing to plants so that you can sell a plant diet to these people. Whatever reason they have for doing this, I don't know. I can't tell you, okay? And then they're going to tell you that he's going to try to tell you that people on plant diets are long-lived. How do you know that? There's no study of a person that ate an only plant diet and lived to 120 years to talk about it. But there are people that ate carnivore diets and lived to 120 to tell you, and they lived. Now here's another problem. The majority of the population is eating a herbivore and omnivore diet. They're eating plants and meat. So you'll never know exactly what's causing people to live a slight bit longer. And you'll never know which one would make them live the longest. See what I mean? Because they're mixing it up. That's the problem with this bullshit.
Any such nonsense if you don't question science. What I'm saying...
But we do know as you get older, you won't be able to handle these plants will cause you disease. These plants have toxins in them, and your body just doesn't work the same as it gets older, the progenitor cells. So they're not going to save you anymore from these toxins and shit. And sugar and toxins, man, they just mess you up.
Is when you have enormous amounts of data and you hold a viewpoint that does not match that data, your opinion, even if you happen to be a medical doctor...
Here's the data. Plants have oxalates, and they're made up of sugar, and they're made up of this, whatever, this fiber, which is a waste product. And everyone knows in science that you cannot digest fiber. Okay, number one, you can't digest fiber. Number two, these plants have toxins in them. Polyphenols, lectins, oxalates, oxalated crystal acid, blah, blah, blah. They fucking destroy you. They could kill you. They disrupt your cells. You could get neurological diseases, metabolic, autoimmune diseases from eating plants. It's a known fact. That's what they call it. That's what they do. Now, eating meat has no toxins or sugar, and it's high in nutrients. Now, he's going to tell you anti-nutrient. And anti-nutrient means it's the poison that's anti-nutrient. The oxalates are anti-nutrient. And then the sugar makes you insulin resistant. But meat has no sugar. It doesn't make you insulin resistant. It keeps you sensitive. And it's not deficient in any nutrients. And it's not anti-nutrient either. It has no toxins. So think about it. If one has all these things, you weigh them preponderance. You weigh them, which one has the pros and the cons. Well, it's obvious that meat has all the pros and plants have all the cons. Get it, man? But all you have to do is place doubt in people's minds and tell them, hey, meat is bad for you. And then that's it. They stop eating meat. The industry is built like that. One day they tell you, hey, eggs are bad for you. They're high cholesterol. Don't eat eggs, high cholesterol, whatever. You stop eating them. Then when they have an overabundance of these eggs and they want to get rid of them, they tell you, hey, man, eggs are really healthy for you. We had a new study, eggs are healthy for you. And then they start selling them. Okay. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? It's supply, demand, and a whole bunch of other stuff. To feed the whole world is insane. You're going to feed the whole world meat? That's why you got the elite people eat the meat. The population is a slave population. Look, think about it. Meat is not the most in abundance, but plants, you can grow them everywhere. That's why they started gardening. They started feeding these slaves. The elites fed slaves what? A slave diet. They gave them bread. They fed them bread, grains, a slop diet, a shit diet called a slave diet. And they continued in this behavior all the way down to this century. They're still serving you, or should I say, they're still giving or feeding you a slave diet, and you're eating it. See what I mean? But they're allowing you to eat meat too, but they want you to eat a slave diet. And not only do they feed you a slave diet, but the processed food and everything else, these fake foods that they create on top of it, out of these weird engineered fruits and vegetables, is even more madness. And JasonBlaha is just one of these crazy idiots that fall for the shit.
Or a scientist just doesn't hold that much weight. It's not two conflicting viewpoints. It's not a case of people saying, well, there's different scientists saying different stuff, because it's just not true. And the carnivore thing is a massive one of them.
How could your natural diet, a carnivore diet, be a mess? No sugar, no toxins, has every nutrient, not deficient in any nutrient, but yet it's a mess. For him, it's a mess.
Here's the issue with it. You have a couple of con artists, really charlatans. Like this is charlatanry, who happen to be MDs who are in that camp. Right? They're selling books, they're selling stuff, and they write stuff about anti-nutrients and everything. And here's the problem with that.
They are not writing about anti-nutrients. If you go into NCBI, it tells you plant toxins. These toxins is what make them anti-nutrient, you bald shithead. That's what makes them anti-nutrient. And the sugar makes you insulin resistant. Now, if you cook your vegetables, it's a known fact that the sugar increases in it, even your potatoes, okay? This is fucking not rocket science.
When you have your hypothesis, you're like, well, I think the anti-nutrients are bad.
No, you think that poisoning yourself isn't bad? Think about it. If alcohol is made from plants and it's a poison, why the fuck would you be drinking it? To poison yourself every day? You have to be retarded. Like this bald-headed dude. That's why he lost his hair, because of these anti-nutrients. That's why he's all upset about it, because it's destroyed him. And so he wants to destroy you.
You can't just propose a hypothesis when you have ridiculous amounts of data suggesting otherwise. Does that make sense? You don't have an argument there. Because when you have a hypothesis...
Have you seen his slave diet? I posted it in my community section. His slave diet. Here, check it out. Jason Blaha slave diet. Oh, you guys have to watch this video. Vegeta's fitness channel. Oh man, on Jason Blaha. It's just more crazy shit about Jason Blaha. But his diet, I posted a picture here somewhere. I gotta find it. Hold on, I don't know where it is. There it is. Hey, there's his diet. There's his diet. It's a bunch of cans, some weird flat bread, a bunch of rice, some I don't know what this is on the left here. Are these potatoes? I'm not really sure. Maybe there's some fruit there. And fat-free, I don't know what that is, milk. So he does do dairy products. Without dairy products, he'd be dead already completely. You understand me? He'd be lacking in nutrients. His body would have to allocate. That's why they have these videos on these crazy vegans turning vegan compilations where their hair is falling out, nails and everything. They go nuts because it is not sustainable. Because it's deficient in nutrients and the toxins fucking mess you up. So your body starts allocating resources everywhere. So then it stops growing hair, your nails, a bunch of stuff that is not necessary to keep you alive. But you're not going out and trying to eat. It's trying to force you to go out and hunt and eat and get these nutrients back. But, you know, at some point, it can only keep you alive for so long until you die.
You have all these studies showing that plants in general, study after study after study after study, showing that people have lower all-cause mortality, lower...
That's funny. It shows that study after study after study, people have died eating vegetables and fruits. Kids died, everything. People get all kinds of diseases from it. It disrupts, it fucks up your DNA. It damages your DNA, cellular damage. It accelerates aging, the inflammatory response in your stomach every time you eat that. That bloating and farting and inflammation in your stomach is called inflammaging. It accelerates aging by eating. People age fast. Notice what people eat and notice how they age faster. Some people age faster than others. You get these twins. One twin ages faster than the other because he's fucking eating more of this garbage, this slave diet. And so it's called inflammaging. That's what happens.
Lower cancer rates, lower heart attack rates, lower obesity rates, all these things that they
That's
eat.
That's an absolute lie. You become obese. Everybody's experiences, they become obese, fat, and get fucked up eating fucking plant diets, carbohydrates and shit. All these plants and seed oils and everything, they make you fat. They fuck your energy. They make you feel terrible. They're fucked up, bro. It's bullshit.
Lots of vegetables. There's even some of that on whole grain.
My experience taught me, I did this as an experiment during COVID, and I'm telling you, these plants poisoned the shit out of me, man. That's my experience, okay? And I was still eating somewhat of a carnivore diet. And I just upped the plants and vegetables to see what they would do. And they fucked me. So there you go. I'm out. He can stay there.
That's right. You have all this data. You got it on fruit. Do you see the problem here? Just being an MD or saying, hey, I have a hypothesis that is bad for you, it's like, okay, but...
They're not saying they have a hypothesis. They're proving with science. But there's not much science on carnivore diet. Why would they make it? Because it's healthy for you. They don't need to make something about something that's healthy. They have to convince you that something that is unhealthy is healthy so that they can market it to you, so they can sell it to you, so you'd buy it.
How do you reconcile that with all of this data?
When was the last time you saw a slave that was healthy? You understand? In Egypt, they fed the slaves these carbohydrates, this slave diet. Gave them a lot of energy, and it wasted them. They worked themselves to death, moving these blocks, building these stupid pyramids and who knows what, for no reason. And they lived a very short lifestyle. They dropped off. But the elites, they lived a lot longer. Look at Ramses. He lived to 100. What do you think he was eating? Bread? Come on, man. You think he ate vegetables and bread to live to 100? He fucking ate meat, bro. He drank that blood. He ate those organs, and he ate that raw meat, bro. That's right.
Do you have examples of these absurdly healthy populations that don't eat vegetables?
The longest lived guy out of all these books, I saw this channel. I put it up one time on my old channel. Remember? It's this guy, he has a channel. He talked about all these people. They fucking died, whatever. The longest lived guy was the Asian guy on a meat diet. He lived like 120. And he wrote a book, How to Live Long. All the rest of them all died in like their 40s, 50s, 30s, whatever, 40s. Yeah, man. These so-called gurus. They had the perfect diet. They all died. Vegan diets.
Do you even have any real case studies? Meaning, do you have people in the lab? Do you have case studies of individuals who have gone 20 years without eating vegetables who have amazing health? And I don't mean someone claiming they do.
Yes. All through, you could go to see Eskimos and a bunch of people that live in these cold climates like, I don't know, Alaska, fucking Siberia, whatever. They all eat meat. Mongolia, they eat meat. They don't grow any plants there. They eat meat and drink milk. They literally conquered the world eating meat and drinking milk. They drink horse milk up there. Then they all drink and they all eat meat and they live long and they're healthy. There's nothing wrong with them. So there's a lot of proof, okay? You don't need studies. You can follow experiences, other people's experiences, and see. No vegan would survive in Siberia. You understand me? They wouldn't survive eating plants up there. They die in the cold. They eat animal fat and they eat meat. That's what they eat up there. And whatever other animal product that animals produce. That's how they survive in a cold climate. And they live long. Trust me. They live very, very, very long. There's a guy in, I think it's South America. He lives in like some mountainous area. He's like 130 years old, 30 years old right now. He just eats animals, man. Yeah.
I mean, it's actually been studied by scientists who've examined this person. They've double-checked to make sure they're not slipping broccoli in.
Here's another thing. They even discovered that these meat-eating people, these older people with high cholesterol, they found that they checked their blood. All these these centenarians, they call them 100 years old or whatever, over 100. They checked their blood. They all had high cholesterol from what? Animal fat. And they lived longer having high cholesterol. That's right.
You know, every morning, where they have this healthy gut flora, great lipids, they don't get cancer. Do you even have case studies? You don't have anything. We have a whole lot.
You even got videos of examples of children always wanting to eat meat. And what do? They shove a slave diet down your throat. This is how they trick you. I think it was on Goaddis's channel. Hold on a second. I'll show you this thing. So here's an example of how they trick you to become a slave. It was this one with the kids. Here it is.
Nothing beats an Eggo thick and fluffy waffle. New Belgian-style waffles.
My last video on child neglect and abuse, today the animals raw and alive is because that's what we
These little kids, when they gave them these chickens, they want to put it in their mouth and eat it.
do in nature. We are predators.
They're predators, see? They want to eat it.
They don't really see it as anything else than food. A lot of times, but I just don't see in any way at all how this could be funny, especially when it's your own children.
Look how they trick you.
Puree, maybe. They tricked her. This is abuse by definition.
Your natural diet is a meat diet. You want to eat the meat. You don't want to eat the slave diet. But watch what they do. This is how they tricked you. They've done this to me when I was a kid. Here comes the airplane. Boom, man. Man, I remember my grandparents and everybody feeding me a slave diet too, messing me up. Watch this.
This one is interesting because the title of the video says that the child only wanted to eat meat, but of course, as Asians, I would for sure consider it child abuse. What you can see here is that the child wants to eat meat, obviously, as every child does, but instead they are giving her some kind of, I don't even know what that is, vegetable puree.
This is because they trick you. This is child abuse.
Maybe.
They don't want to feed you what you want to eat, meat.
They tricked her. This is abuse by definition. Toxic for you, and nutritionally doesn't give you anything except for carbohydrates, which are sugar. Of course, no child on earth wants to actually eat rice. Force feed the child rice because that's normal in their culture. Again, it was the same trick. The child doesn't want the rice, of course, because rice...
They give the meat and then they put the rice in his mouth, the slave diet. And it's got arsenic in it. It's toxic.
Is inedible.
Plants are toxic, terrible for children. They fuck you up as a child.
Naturally, that's why you need to cook it. You need to remove the shell. It has arsenic.
This is the worst abuse.
Tricking your baby into doing anything already shows what a horrible parent you are. You have pulled pork, but they trick her or him into eating what was
Slave
the
diet.
just some vegetable puree, garbage or whatever. Which
They keep tricking him and they keep shoving that fucking slave diet down his throat. They tease him with the meat. They don't want to feed him the meat and then they give him the slave diet.
is going to destroy the baby's gut. It's basically like eating antibiotics. You have tons of toxins, poisons, anti-nutrients, pesticides also obviously nowadays. Incredibly bad for the baby's health and development.
And Blaha is going to tell you this is healthy. The pesticides, the glyphosates and everything. That son of a bitch.
You couldn't really do much worse than that. What the baby, of course, wants is the pulled pork. Obviously, that's what humans naturally want. We want to eat meat. But for some reason, these freaking parents nowadays believe that babies should be eating something else. Why would babies eat what you hate yourself? Vegetable puree. Everybody on earth hates that, no matter what age you are. Just really horrible. And to trick your baby like that is just another level of abuse.
It's crazy.
All right, the last one got to me. Now we are gonna watch the natural senses.
No. Okay.
The child is happy that he doesn't have to eat the garbage, which is poisonous and unhealthy for his body, obviously.
No. No.
Oh my god, man. And now the mother, the worst parent on earth, beats up the whatever that is, the puppet.
I'm not going to go further with this. I'll just I'll go back to JasonBlaha. But just examples in the vegan diet community and everything. These vegans are all poisoned.
We have a whole
Yes, we don't have anything. We have vegan compilations, experience, a bunch of things, yes. But we don't have anything, no.
lot of people who've had a lot of health issues from these, by the way, particularly the gut flora side, who carnivore type diet.
Everybody as they get older are going to go see the doctor. They're all suffering. They're all suffering.
Cause problems. We have plenty of data on people who eat almost no fruits or vegetables at the population level. You mean all these obese diabetics with cancer? Like that's what happens when you eat like no fiber. You don't get any phytonutrients in your diet. You got plenty of those populations. Okay, we need to be clear here. These are not equal arguing points. That's not how science works. We have tons of data, and if you have a different hypothesis, you say, well, I think anti-nutrients cause problems. Okay, whatever, cause all these issues.
I'm not saying they cause issues. They are the issue. What are you talking about? Poison? I like how you use that word anti-nutrient. That's just a sweet word for poison. Yeah, man, you're poisoning yourself. You think poison is healthy? Poisoning yourself is healthy?
Instead of, hey, a lot of these anti-nutrients study population after population. People who eat more vegetables and fruits have health problems at a lower rate, as a general rule.
That is an absolute lie. Everybody who eats fruits and vegetables have the worst health. Everybody that eats fruits and vegetables are going to see a dentist. But anybody that eats a carnivore diet is never going to see a dentist. They don't need toilet paper. They don't need to see a dentist. And God forbid, they'll never go see a doctor, and they don't even need medicine. And they won't go to the health food store to buy these stupid fucking vitamins. But anybody on a plant-based diet is going to go buy vitamins. You're going to see them at the vitamin store. Why? I thought plants are so healthy for you. Why do you need these vitamins and shit? These supplements. See what I mean? Why are you seeing a dentist? Why are you seeing a doctor? Why are you getting prescription drugs? Because fruits and vegetables destroy you in your health. That's so they can make money off your misery. They create the problem, and then they sell you a solution. Like this guy. His solution is to lift in lifting hell, limbo.
The correlation is extreme in the other direction. They're just
He's so unhealthy, eating a vegan diet, that he has to lift weights all the time. You understand me? He's got to go and lift weights 24 hours a day. A person on a carnivore diet will laugh at you. They never go to a gym and lift weights, okay?
much lower rate. And if the problem is that these are the things that are causing problems, you would see it in the epidemiology so that you would know to study it, but you don't. Be like, man, all these people who are eating lots of vegetables are all getting cancer.
They also look ugly. They are getting cancer, and they look ugly. It's deficient in nutrients.
At a higher rate than Americans are. Again, it's nonsense. This is pseudoscience. When you say, okay, but this is what all these scientists are saying, but there's some doctors over here, that's not a counterpoint. That's an appeal to authority and saying that because one medical doctor or two medical doctors or five medical
This is the epitome of a lifting slave, man.
doctors who are selling fringe equal argument. Those arguments do not hold the same weight. Okay?
I honestly don't even know what the hell he's rambling on about.
And it's because in this case, it's not just an opinion of scientific consensus. Well, a group of scientists all were maybe paid by someone to say this. No, it's just supported in the data. Anyone who went and looked at the total bodies of the research and data around the world would draw that conclusion. But yeah, vegetables are really, really... All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say today, I hope. And anyone who goes and starts just looking at studies would conclude that very quickly. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative.
Man, there's a lot of fake studies out there. This guy's ridiculous. Experience tells me, and other people's experience, fake. I'll see you in the next one. Tell us to think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Helps the algorithm. Comment down below. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.